What's going on, Jerome's? So the Minnesota Vikings run defense through the first two games has been less than ideal. Even though love what Flores is doing on defense, especially with the pass rush, especially in the secondary, just literally stopping the run, it's been a little bit tough. Making DeAndre Swift looking like freaking Gale Sayers and Earl Campbell and Jim Brown and OJ. Combined out there, it's been rough. It's been sort of rough, but part of it is game script. Part of it is the offense not being able to stay on the field. Part of it is the defense just getting pounded over and over and over again and wearing down late in games, and it sort of is what it is. But the Vikings are dead last in rushing attempts on them through the first two games, 29th in yards allowed, 332, 3 touchdowns on the ground, as well as Robusto of 4.1 yards per carry. Just hasn't been very good. But the Vikings do have to get back to having the meets as well as stopping the runs. And will they be able to do it with their current defensive line? So we said since day one that Harrison Phillips is better off at 5 tech as opposed to the nose, except they continue to put him at nose tackle. I understand it. So Flores wants to play lighter. Flores wants to play an undersized sub-package defense, and offenses are taking advantage of that right now by running the football. Kairos Tonga, who was a de facto starter in training camp and needs to get back on the field. They need to utilize him more. I think that he could be a stud on this defense. Dean Lowry has been whatever. Bullard and Jaquelin Roy. So Roy needs to be active, first of all, and getting himself out there. And maybe Day or TJ Smith. I don't know. But I don't know. But yeah, either way, just look at the Vikings defensive line. They do need to add some bodies, and I think that there is a couple of free agents out there that do fit the bill. Now, the first thing you're going to say is these guys are old. Why are we signing them? But here's the thing. We're 90-man roster. You're focusing on the future. Guys that with a little bit of work in camp and preseason could develop into something down the line. But in season, you're looking for guys who can help me this season, this month, this week. That's what you're focusing on right now. So I don't care that these players may not even be in football next season. I don't care about that. What about now? What can you do right now? Can you give me 15, 20 snaps a game to help stop the run? If so, that's what we're looking for right now. So here are 6 free agent defensive linemen that the Vikings should take a gander at. So number 1, Akeem Hicks, starting off with the hits. He is 33 years young, and he's certainly not the Pro Bowl terror that he was with the crooked Chicago Bears, putting up sacks, stopping the run, just ragdolling Garrett Bradbury over and over and over again. He ain't that. He is not that anymore, but the pride of Regina can still stop the run. 65.6 PFF grade last season against the run. 18 stops for the Bucs on 442 snaps. He was solid. He was solid in a rotational role, and he can still play that role with the Vikings, whether it's playing nose tackle on passing downs or whether it's playing a 3-tech, 4-tech, 5-tech on non-passing downs. He could do it. Same thing with Linval Joseph. Now, I know we're going to get pushbacks like, well, you got rid of Delvin and Thielen, and why would you bring back Linval? Because Linval can still do exactly what he needs to do. Because guess what? A 0-tech, a 1-tech nose tackle that's designed to absorb bodies as well as 2-gap, you don't necessarily need that speed that, say a wide receiver or a running back or a linebacker still needs. And that's why it's much more noticeable when guys like Dalvin and Thielen and Kendricks lose a step versus a guy like Linval. And Linval, you'll remember, played last year. Him and Ndamukong Suh were signed by the Eagles after they lost their first game against the Commies. And is Linval going to be, that 2014, 2019 vintage Linval Joseph? No, absolutely not. But he did have 2 good years with the Chargers. Last year he played a limited role, was solid as a 2-down guy, filling in at nose tackle when Jordan Davis got injured for the Eagles, and he could fill that role with the Vikings. You can put him out there 15, 20 snaps a game, just absorb bodies and hold down the line of scrimmage, which the Vikings haven't been good at the first 2 weeks of the season. 3.1 yards per before contact for opposing running backs so far this season, which is not good. It's no bueno. Part and parcel is Ndamukong Suh, the other defensive lineman that Howard and the Eagles signed last year. But I mean, And Ndamukong Suh actually played pretty damn well. 13 pressures, 2 sacks in 11 games, 2 pressures in the Super Bowl as well. And yeah, he's not the first team All-Pro guy like he was with the Lions a decade plus ago. And yeah, he's bounced around the league a little bit, whether it's the Rams or the Buccaneers or the Dolphins or whatever. But could he bring a little stank both against the run as well as the pass? Yes, I think that he could, and the price would be right for both Ndamukong Suh, Linval, and Hicks, who all played for the league minimum last year. Michael Brockers of the Lions. So this, of course, would be the taken from a division rival whole thing, but Brockers did have crossover with Kevin O'Connell in LA. Back in the day. And he had 9 solid seasons with the Rams, the former LSU Tiger. Again, adding another chapter to Skull SU. Didn't fare too well last 2 seasons with the Lions, but could he play a role as a nose tackle, 3 tack, 5 tack, whatever you need along the defensive line? Yes, he could. Danny Shelton. So this one is interesting. I am fully advocating all in on this one. Danny Shelton, Mount Shelton, the former Washington Husky, former first-round pick. He's 6'2", he's 345. He absorbs multiple bodies and multiple gaps. Recently released from the Chiefs practice squad. And what's interesting is that he was on the 2018 Patriots when they were coordinated by Brian Flores, who's now currently the Vikings defensive coordinator. So bringing in Danny Shelton would make a ton of sense, and he's a guy. He's very similar to Khyiris Tonga, where he is a true blue nose tackle. He's a true blue zero tack, great for an odd man front to 3-4. And yeah, it hasn't worked out, and he's bounced around the league a little bit, but the whole "Mama, I can change him" motif is certainly there. And of course, Kwesi, that's right up in his wheelhouse, where you have a first-round pick, hasn't quite panned out on the potential, can play a specific role, roll the dice in a very low-risk, moderately high-reward situation. And lastly, Tristan Hill. Currently on the Browns practice squad, so not a true free agent, but the Vikings could pick him up, add him to the 53. He's 24 years young, 6'3", 310. He was a 2019 second-round pick by the Cowboys out of Central Florida. Dante Culpepper, get your roll on, baby. He ended up with the Cardinals last season, where he actually was decent in run defense, posting a 74-plus PFF run defense grade. Also had 5 pressures on top, and it's a whole thing about high draft pedigree. It hasn't worked out for whatever reason. Mama, I can change him situation with Hill as well as with Shelton. And I mean, the other guys, yeah, they're a little bit longer in the tooth, but this isn't about the future. This is about what can you do right now? Can you help us stop the run just by adding size, just by adding bodies up front? Yes, I think a number of these guys do make sense in that regard, and some of that Kwesi should take a look at. But your thoughts are thoughts. 6 free agent, 5 free agents and 1 practice squad guy. Truth in advertising. Defensive lineman that the Vikings should take a look at. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol Production Value.